So Kyniska is a not-for-profit organisation. We have two sides to what we do. So we have a kind of advocacy side and then a services side. Our kind of end goal is to stamp out all forms of interpersonal violence in sport. So that's physical abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. Any kind of power imbalance where there's a person who is in authority abusing somebody who is not in authority. So the typical kind of relationship there would be coach to athlete. How did it come about? So Kyniska is run by myself and co-founder Kate Seary, who's also a runner. She's the, I think, Welsh record holder for steeplechase. And I guess we kind of came about because in 2021, beginning of 2021, my previous coach was given a 5-year ban for sexual abuse of his athletes. And I got contacted by another fellow athlete asking how I felt about the ban, and I was like, well, it feels great that we've been listened to, but also 5 years is a really short period of time, and what happens after 5 years? And I kind of feel like that person shouldn't really be allowed back in control or in power of any athlete ever again. And so she said that they were going to be launching a kind of campaign or writing to the CEO. They weren't really sure what it was yet, but on the basis of my case. And I think, like, when you go through an experience when you're a victim of abuse, you're like so disempowered, so disenfranchised, and then when you're going through an investigation, it's like that all over again, because you can't talk to particular people. You can say certain things but not to certain people. This just felt like someone else was then going to take my thing and run with it, and I was like, no, I'm taking back agency. So I wanted to get involved, and that's kind of how Kate and I met, and we did this campaign. We launched an open letter to the CEO of British Athletics at the time, which was Joanna Coates, asking for lifetime bans for coaches who'd been found guilty of sexual misconduct and abuse. The campaign was successful. We ended up on BBC. We got 2,000 signatures from athletes all over the world, and the policy was implemented. So now in athletics, if a coach is found guilty of sexual misconduct and abuse, they're banned for life, so they can't come back and practice. And I guess for Kate and I, that kind of felt like the beginning. We felt like there was loads of momentum, and that this was a global issue in sport, and it wasn't just our sport, and we had something unique that was, we had both lived experience. Kate was, her coach, she was not a direct victim, but her coach was in prison for sexual abuse. And we kind of came at it from different sides, and that she looked at like that wholesale lack of support around athlete groups where something happens, and like this assumption that the only people that are affected are the victims, but actually there's like loads of people that are affected all around the situation. And so I guess that was where Kyniska was born out of. We originally kind of decided that we were going to be a campaigning advocacy organisation trying to change policy and make that long-term sustainable policy change to improve sport and make it a safer space in the UK and beyond. And I guess off the back of, as we've kind of grown organically, we've started offering services like we deliver training courses to coaches around safeguarding and creating healthy environments. We've consulted on policies with World Athletics and UK Athletics and the English Cricket Board and other sports organisations. We now also run, as of this year officially, a support service. So that was again kind of born quite organically. Because I was quite public about what happened to me, we had a lot of athletes coming to us to tell me what happened to them, or to ask for help or ask for advice. And I guess we've formalised it now where we have this hand-holding service for people who come to us. Sometimes it's just a one phone call where they just want someone to listen to what's happened to them. Other times they want advice to explore options and routes of like what can they do to get a resolution. Sometimes they want representation in meetings. They want us to help them write a letter to their MP or write a letter of formal complaint to their organisation. So it's kind of very much like athlete led in terms of what they want and need. And we have like a legal firm who can offer them informal legal advice, and we have a trained emotional support like helpline volunteer that works alongside us as well. So it's really kind of trying to have a whole system, holistic approach to someone who's going to come to us, and like how can we best support them through that journey and do all of the things that didn't happen for me and Kate.
And if there's someone out there who's thinking this sort of thing sounds kind of familiar, how should they go about seeking out more information or contacting you guys?
So we have a website, we also have social media. Kyniska is kind of a funny spelling, but you should hopefully be able to find us if you even just look for me online. We've got loads of information on our website, so we've got safe sport awareness videos, we've got athlete welfare toolkit, so to guide you through reporting process and what that should look like. We've got our support email and our support number. Ultimately, we will encourage you to use the official routes through your national governing body, but I guess what we're trying to do is bridge that gap and kind of break down that assumption that athletes are going to feel comfortable going straight to their national governing body when it's someone from the national governing body that's harmed them. And so trying to take some of that pressure and the burden off of athletes. But yeah, if anyone is going through something similar, reach out to us and we can help you in the best way that we can.
Perfect, that's amazing. Thanks so much for doing that. It's definitely something athletics I think can benefit from, and just everywhere in sporting in general. So it's really good what you guys have got going on.
Thanks
so much for that.